Today's episode is brought to you by Shape Shack.
Shape Shack. Whether establishing your enterprise or building your brand, go to Shape Shack for a custom shape to set yourself apart.
You know, so many people have problems trying to come up with their own shape when it seems like every shape's already been done. But when you're looking for that specific shape to represent your brand and your whatever your business venture is, I turned to Shape Shack. I started using it recently, and I have 2 new shapes that you can check out on the blog. So that's Shape Shack. Go to shapeshack.com and get started, and you'll get the first month free as long as you plug in the code word WizBiz. That's WizBiz. And then, get your first month free.
Let's all be wizards and fly around in the sky. Let's all be wizards, immortal, we could never die. Let's cast some spells with all of our dear friends. Let's all be wizards, the magic it would never end. And we'll fly so high in the sky. Fly so high in the sky.
All right, so we got a book in the mail. Finally, we got a book to review, you guys. And that book is Physicians' Untold Stories. This was sent to us by Scott Kolbaba, MD. And he's the guy who wrote this. And this is exciting because this is the first piece of material we've ever received in the mail.
Is that a
For Let's Just Be
drugstore
Wizards.
novel?
No, it's not. But did he like send us a used copy of this book?
Oh, no, this
Are
is
you
this
sure
is
that
nice,
was brand new? Because looked like it had been dog-eared in a couple spots.
Oh, I did that.
Oh,
I had
okay,
some,
all
yeah,
right,
some different
okay.
parts that I thought
I
were cool.
see.
From
Adam
here.
reads very quickly.
like
well,
the-
why don't you
tearing
share
through
a
that
few of
thing.
those dog ears with us?
Okay, yeah, this is a chapter 9 from his book, Physicians' Untold Stories. It's kind of about how it goes into like miraculous coincidences and being a doctor. So I knew I was freezing to death because I read about the stages in medical school. First, your body starts to feel cold, then you begin to shiver. That's the body's way of generating heat. As you become more hypothermic, temperature below the normal body temperature, the shivering stops and you become confused and very tired. That's all I'm going to give you for now. You need to pick up the book right now if you want to hear the
Those are
rest
just
of it.
describing symptoms of hypothermia.
Yeah, but where could it lead? Who has hypothermia?
How
How's
did
it
they
gonna
get out
end
in the? What were they doing out in the cold?
Hiking.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, they've got all these cool stories in here. It'll push you to believe in the awesome and miraculous circumstances in everyday life. The narrator of these stories are men and women of science. They have worked everywhere from the Mayo Clinic to outer islands of the Philippines. The one thing they all have in common is that they are physicians touched by a divine moment so miraculous that they need to share it with you.
I don't see what that actually has to do with the topic of this show once you read that.
Uh-huh.
But okay.
No, it's about divine intervention.
Yeah, I thought we were trying to do magic.
Yeah, that is magic. Circumstances that are
like
coincidental.
That's like something on the outside being like, we can't explain what caused that to happen. Magic is the opposite of that. Magic is saying a sorcerer or a wizard used powers to control the outcome of an event. This book doesn't have anything to do with
It
what
does,
we're talking
though.
about.
Well, that
on
goes
this
back to
show.
the discussion about whether the magic you believe in is IC, ICK, or IK.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Or icy hot.
icy
Well-
hot patch.
Anyways, check out Physicians' Untold Stories by Scott J. Kolbaba, MD. Thanks a lot for sending that in, Scott. All right, should we start?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Let's Just Be Wizards, a bi-weekly podcast that delves into the dark arts in order to answer the age-old question, can I be a wizard? I'm your host, Adam Hilton, and to my left hand is...
The Count of Doom, Max.
And to his left hand is...
Jill of all tricks, Courtney Nursey Conley.
And to her left hand is...
Hi, it's Drew Cox again, here to be a wizard and just be a wizard.
Through the course of this podcast, we will attempt to interpret dreams, see into the future, and everything else under the moon. So strap in for the show that will rip through the veil of time itself. This week on Wizards, Divination. All right, how's everybody's Wizards weeks been going? How's the magic flowing, you guys?
Well, just a few days ago, I don't know, I was seeing weird shapes in the sky, and they were like pointing in a direction, and so I kind of followed them. I live in Placer County, so I had to drive over lots of hills, and I thought, oh boy, I'm going to find like a jar of gold coins in some abandoned lot, aren't I? But not so. All I saw was two Dobermans fucking. But that was beautiful as well.
Sounds like that has merit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's value
happy.
in that.
And
There's
so
magic there.
it kind of taught me, that you just gotta take life. You gotta choose life.
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out? Am I right?
I like that this is where the spirits were pointing you. Do you think they were spirits or just...
You think the Dobermans were spirits?
No, I think the Dobermans became the spirits.
Sky shapes.
The sky shapes, yeah.
The sky shapes.
Were those the gods, the Nordic gods,
The
pointing you towards your true
think about
faith?
think about the words dog and God. And like dog is God backwards.
I saw true gods getting it on.
Yeah, I saw two
That's
perfect
I think that has some
creatures.
precedence.
Yeah. Well, that's magical. Courtney, how about you? Anything magical going on in your life?
Well, I think we both experienced a magic.
Yeah, we did.
We did use the pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did some Reiki.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
That was quite an experience.
I actually utilized the pendulum today for an important decision.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had planned to microdose some LSD.
Uh-huh.
Did I say that?
No, but go ahead.
I was going to microdose some LSD with a friend today, and I just felt like this weird rush to kind of get that out of the way.
Yeah.
And then come do this. And then I was like, I'm gonna consult the pendulum because I feel a little bit conflicted. So I did. And it said, and I asked, you can only ask it yes or no. So I asked it, should I microdose with my buddy today? And it was like, no.
Oh.
A big fat no. And I was like, what? I was kind of disappointed. And then I said, should I do it tomorrow? And I said, yes.
Oh, so you did not do this
I did
today.
not microdose. I'm not on acid right now.
Oh, wow. Maybe that's a good call.
I think it was. I afterwards,
I couldn't
realized it
imagine
was
doing
very
a
good call.
podcast on acid.
I could, but
Okay.
different strokes. But
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I can barely keep it together with the brain I'm using right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That doesn't sound like. Was that something you needed the pendulum to consult? Like you were seriously considering doing it? Okay.
microdosing though is different.
And you texted me and I said, yeah, but see how it goes.
I'd probably be reliving
You're
like a
right.
D&D quest or something. It wouldn't be pleasant.
Oh, man, we got to have another D&D
yeah, we
session.
haven't
do
played
another
D&D in
sesh.
a minute, have we?
Yeah.
Another sesh.
All right. So how about you, Andrew? Anything magical going on?
What, man, I had something like with a cursed jacket, like some jacket I had got cursed, and then I wound up like hanging it up, basically hanging it up away from all my other clothes, so like nothing would happen, or no one would put it on by accident. And,
Cursed jacket.
Yeah. Anyway, it had been up, kind of safe and sound, sort of just
Was it-
redirecting magical energy away from me. And
Was it kind of like Kill the Kill?
no, I don't know what that one's about.
Okay.
It's the anime,
It's
right?
an anime, but I don't know what it's about. So
About these kids with crazy, sexy hair.
That's
just-
you're about right. Actually, they got
giant
these crazy
robots
sexy
they jump
hair, and they
into.
got the bikinis on, and it's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, like my mom moved the thing for no apparent reason, and like hung it up with all my other fucking clothes, and that I don't know. It was about 4 years ago that I hung the thing up there, so there was really no reason to move it, and I don't really remember what led me to that conclusion in the first place. It was so long ago at this point.
Did you say, damn it, ma?
I kind of, man, it was, yeah, let's say that's what I did. Let's just say that's his,
Damn it, man.
God, Ma, come on, that's my magic stuff. I told you not to mess with that, because it's about what I believe in, and you don't understand.
You're not-
Hey, you gotta move the car, go take my car to the Rite Aid and move the seat.
You can't
Why you
let-
gotta move my seat? It's the magic, messing my magic spell.
You can't let sunlight hit a magical tool.
Yeah, so that's the most magic thing that happened to me lately that I feel like discussing, because anything else I have set into motion has yet to produce any material results.
You've always got some irons in the fire.
I always do.
All right, so let's look
I
at.
got a lot of big stuff going on.
Yeah, man.
What about you?
What about? Oh yeah, me. Yeah, no. So like you were talking about, we went to do the Reiki healing, and that you performed on me, and that was a really interesting experience where I felt energy zapping back and forth through my body, and then you got to my head, and then it felt like there was a game of Pong.
Did you microdose on acid? Did you microdose him on acid? You totally did. You're like, it's microdosing. It's different. Adam will describe it to you in a minute.
I think
yeah,
I think it was a team effort.
Yeah.
Okay, so Courtney psyched Adam out with a little tiny bit of LSD.
Oh, no.
So,
So he asked me what
was
kind
really
of water
fucked up.
I wanted.
yeah, that.
Oh yeah, huh? I was like,
That
hot-
is,
or cold water or room temperature.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
And
so-
she thought that he knew what that code meant, but he didn't. And he accidentally took some acid and thought he was playing Pong with Courtney's brain.
And I found
Sounds
out,
about right.
Sounds like replacing the mouthwash with absinthe.
and I found out that that I have two guardian angels, not just one. I have two of them.
You totally did that, didn't you?
No, dude, we asked the pendulum. That's all part of the pendulum thing.
Pendulette would have just said all magic is fake, so I don't know
all
what you're
about,
talking
like,
about.
Pendulette is
interpretation.
banned from this show.
Yeah. Oh.
And the amazing Randy is banned, even though he's dead.
Okay.
But he can get the ban
But
lifted.
you know what? If we were to maybe conjure his spirit, we would definitely let him on the show.
Oh, that'd be great. We should have the amazing Randy on soon. We'd be like,
We
well,
can,
I guess
yeah.
you got. I
guess
was wrong.
I was wrong.
Okay. So now it's time to move on to the news.
Oh, the news. So, yeah. On March 30th, in the country of Canada, this guy, Muarli Mitsialu, was charged with fraud for over $5,000 and extortion, which was the charge of pretending to practice witchcraft, which falls under Canada's Penal Code 365, or the
Pretending to
section.
practice witchcraft.
Yes, I will get into that in a moment. Section 365 in the Canadian Criminal Code, which refers specifically to the phrase of witchcraft and any other occult, quote-unquote, crafty science. Now, this guy who also calls himself Master Rahav is a citizen of India who is living in Canada and advertising his services as an astrologer and a psychic in the Toronto area. So, Master Rahav may have told some really sad dad with a daughter who had some serious mental illness that she was cursed by a bunch of evil spirits, and he might have charged him kind of out the ass to get rid of him.
But was he not a channeler? or
So
lay-
anyway, that's
wanna
what
work
we're
good
getting
or
at
work
here.
cheap?
We're gonna get to that here. Now, this charge of quote unquote pretending to practice witchcraft can result in a conviction with the charges of up to 6 months in jail and a fine of no less than $5,000. Now, the existing law has gone unchanged since 1892 when it was established to keep grifters from taking advantage of gullible people. But the addition to the concept of fake witchcraft was added in 1955 in order to sort of soften the blow and say, like, okay, we accept the fact that some people might believe in witchcraft, but anyone peddling these services in this way is obviously a huckster, and it's not going to go by the law.
It's so un-American.
Well, anyway,
Miss Cleo.
let me
That was pretty American.
let's go over to the law here. So,
She wasn't really Jamaican either.
Section 365, pretending to practice witchcraft, etc. Everyone who fraudulently A, pretends to exercise any kind of witchcraft, sorcery, enchantment, or conjuration. Conjuration.
Consternation,
Like
yes.
conjuring things.
Conflagration?
Conjuration.
Yes,
It's written right
conflagration.
there. It's not. It's conjuration. Undertakes for a consideration that's for money to tell fortunes or pretends to have a skill or knowledge of any occult crafty science to discover where or in what manner any event that may supposed to happen or is going to happen or where a lost object might be found.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who does this is guilty of this when it's punishable.
Like a lost child.
Yeah, well, essentially, the people taking the hard line, well, people set an outcry. They say, you can't do that. If some wizard believed he was doing his best job to cure these things, which he perceived to be demons, he can charge for his services whatever that amount is. And people have, they've set an outcry. They want to get this law changed, but hardliners are saying, like, no, we're not telling anyone what they can or cannot believe. What we're telling you is what kind of business you can run here in the great country of Canada, and that's one we don't allow.
No,
so
it was a no phony calzone.
Yeah, no phony calzone. Apparently, we call it the old no phony calzone. Anyway, the people of Canada.
Who gets accused of fake witchery? You gotta feel pretty dumb.
Well, that's
get
the thing.
that.
Well, apparently Master Rahav got
Oh.
accused of fake witchery
Well, that happens
for
all the
taking
time,
that set.
though, like
There's
fake
actually
psychics
there's more than a dozen precedent cases of people who have been charged with this crime in Canada over the past over 100 years since this law has been enacted.
Who enforces it? The president?
The law.
Oh, okay.
Like currently the people
the
discussing
prime minister.
it's a prime minister in Canada, but currently the people discussing overturning the law are the people in the parliament.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually people are talking about it, though there's no real appear to be any movement behind getting this law overturned because
Canada is a whale-oiled machine. If you don't mind, let me get a machine.
a whale-oiled machine.
We need some laws like that here, and then we wouldn't have those stupid shows like where that guy's like, your dead daughter's in a pond in Alabama.
Oh, he came through Sacramento
What's his
recently.
name?
You mean
Crossing over with John Edwards.
John Edwards.
Yeah, he got given a second chance. I feel like after he was exposed, he kind of.
Was he
apologized or
exposed?
something? Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, they had the plant in the audience, and
See, that's fake witchcraft there. When you see, and here's what I'm thinking. And I think this leads us
That's why I
around.
lost his TV show.
This leads us around to exactly what I think this law is designed to stop from having happen, and then what I think this law is actually doing. So you get a guy like that who's actually got plants in the audience and is actually faking the results of what he's presenting to you. That's fake witchcraft. Now, a guy who says, "I'm here from India. I've studied with mystics." I know these methods of telling fortunes. I understand what these forces around me are. If that guy believes this stuff wholeheartedly and makes his best attempt, whether he's a skilled,
whether he cures your cancer
whether
or
he's
not.
a skilled magician or not, is not the question to be asked here. It's whether he's practicing fake witchcraft, which I don't think Master Rahiv was. I think he made an honest attempt. I don't think witchcraft cures certain mental illnesses, but he took a crack at it with the tools he had at his disposal.
And meanwhile, in the Bible Belt, if you get smacked on your head hard enough and told you are healed or you are purged of evil, then you'll feel lightheaded and you'll feel kind of like, oh, you're in God's power. No, that guy just smacked you on the head, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right, is that the news?
Well, no, more news. Magic the Gathering, for the first time in 14 years, will be adding a new deck to the game.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
It's kind of like Egyptian themed, but like it's Magic the Gathering, so it all looks the same.
I gotta be the first in line.
No matter what they say about the new theme of the decks, they all look exactly the same.
They're all the same.
A lot of illustrators have steady work.
Because of thank you, Magic the Gathering.
They're all the same. Legate,
Fantasy
I was
Arcadia.
once accused of doing witchcraft when playing that game as a preteen.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Man, what a charge.
What a miss, man. People just don't know good fun when they see it.
Well, that's also what they said about Dungeons and Dragons.
I could never learn that game, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, because whoever you play it with will make up new rules as you play, just to be a dick and
they'll see the
no, I was
signs
playing
that you're
tournament. Those are tournament rules. You have to change it over here at this point.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this rule allows
Except
me to
for when I do this.
to take
You
$20
make the card
out of your
flipping
pocket.
gesture.
Yes, yeah. Make the gesture of
played
turning
this
a
card.
card a certain way.
Tapping your resources.
Some Magic the Gathering person is like, clearly he doesn't.
their
He doesn't get the game. It's been over 20 years maybe since I've played, and
it's gotten better since
no one
left.
ever properly explained the game to me. I don't think from the get go.
I never. Yeah,
I know
you
what
feel.
mana is
Yeah.
because my brother played the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell him they're getting a new deck.
He's in jail.
Well, that'll give him something to look forward to when he gets out.
He's not into magic anymore.
Well, maybe he should. It'll
What does
keep
the
him.
magic
Maybe
seem like
he
in
should
jail?
be. It'll keep him out of trouble.
I bet Magic would be big in jail.
Yeah,
like trading those
I
cards.
don't think you can get them
I
into
think
the
he
jail,
might get
though. I
beat
think
up
you would
a little bit.
probably not be able to get them into the jail as easily as you might think.
You could bet things on them too. Like
don't
you could
ever
bet
go
your
near a jail.
your
I don't think they
bunkmate
would
on
allow
them.
any kind of cards in there.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of
Yeah, it's not your.
You don't even give them playing cards.
too real. Too real for me right now.
It's not. I don't think jail's how you imagine it, Adam.
Well, I see some images of jail, and it's like
to heat their tomato
It's not
soup.
a great.
You know?
This is not a great one.
They'll turn them
I don't
into
see
fuel.
great ones necessarily. I just see some where they're like watching TV, and others where they all have to wear pink
Well,
and
the ones where
smack rocks with a sledgehammer.
So
There's
back
no
to magic
consistency.
cards.
I don't.
Is that your other news
I don't know,
piece?
there's always
That was the last of the news.
All right, that's been the news. That's it for the news. Now let's get to the topic. The topic of this week is divination. From Latin, divinare, to foresee, to be inspired by a god. Divination is the practice of using a tool or ceremony to gain insight into a question or predetermine the outcome of a situation. There are many different methods of divination throughout the world. Using such diverse methods as flipping coins, tossing shells on a table, or looking at the grounds left at the bottom of a cup of Turkish coffee. The most common methods of divination these days are palm reading, tarot cards, the I-Ching, runes, Ouija boards, crystal balls, and dowsing rods. And pendulums, too.
That's like a dowsing rod, isn't it?
Dowsing rods are two rods you hold, and when they cross, you've got into water.
Yeah. I know. I assumed I'm aware of what they are. I assumed the pendulum worked on a similar principle.
I'm kind of into drawing of lots, like Nordic runes.
Hey, speaking of Turkish coffee, you know what they say about
the
Turkish
I-Ching.
coffee?
Huh.
If it ain't boiled thrice, it ain't worth the price.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like getting that at a place.
That's not bad. Was it boiled thrice?
I don't know about that.
That's the way to go, man.
Well, Max, do you have a history of divination? I know it's a very broad subject.
I do, yes. Can you pause?
All right, we're going to pause while Max
Okay.
brings up the facts.
So I've taken this.
And now, here's the facts with Max.
I've taken this brief history of divination and historical tidbits from Wikipedia. And if you want me to check scholarly journals for my history segment, please please contribute financially to Let's Just Be Wizards in our future Patreon account. Anyway,
Yeah, have we divined that we will have a Patreon account in the future?
We're going to divine that today.
Let me throw these coins
It's
on
in
the
the
floor
cards,
and see
yeah.
if that happens. That's only going to get me so far. I barely know what that part has
but
to
on
do with
to
it.
history.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 18, passage 10 to 12, or Leviticus 19:26 can be interpreted as categorically forbidding divination. However, Bible passages
Just like Canada.
just like Canada. But Bible passages such as Exodus 28 clearly hint towards temple divination, such as when the Urim and Thummim are mentioned. These are the black and white stones worn by Hebrew priests on their garments, and they were used as a kind of yes-no type of tool to see if someone was guilty or innocent.
Wow. Wow. It seems like pretty extreme and swift.
Israelites don't fuck around. Just
Apparently not.
Look at the Tavor, you know.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, never mind. It's a bullpup.
Oh.
Yeah. Kind of a modern.
Oh, it's a firearm.
Yeah,
I
it
see. Okay. Yeah, I get what you mean now. Okay.
Sorry, I had to go
All
get
right.
my rock star.
You know what, Max? You could have picked any other weapon designed in that part of the world, and I would have.
What, like the Desert
There,
Eagle?
that's the more ubiquitous one, isn't it? The
As a
50
sidearm,
Action Express.
And then having a foul or a stire.
A Steyr, that would have been another one that I would have definitely recognized. The one you said I had not ever heard of.
Anyways, both oracles and seers in ancient Greece practiced divination, and the difference between the two is oracle prophecies were understood to be the will of the gods verbatim, and seers were not in direct contact with the gods. Instead, they were interpreters of signs provided by the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Seers use methods to interpret the will of the gods, this being Greek pantheon or even to Etruscan.
You know what else I like about Sears is they got a lifetime guarantee on all their hand tools.
Sears, man.
If you could find one that's
the
still
craftsmen,
open.
fucking tires. Man, what's going to happen to Sears? That kind of scares me.
It's all. What do you mean? What's going to happen? They filed for Chapter 11. They're liquidating their real estate portfolio. It's all going down.
Those were the days.
Every mall in
Yes,
America
they were.
will be out one anchor store.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
This is ancient
they
Sears
use
we're talking
methods
about.
Oh,
such
okay.
as studying bird habits and examining sheep's innards to predict a battle. In the minds
Zoomancy.
of the masses, oracles and shears made the unknown known. And another historical tidbit, Hannibal was misdirected by a seer who was lying. He was saying he was in Italy by then and being directed to hamlets or villages that had supplies for his troops.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Hannibal, it was the Franks as well, or the Gauls.
Oh,
Who is Hannibal?
the serial killer.
The
Yes,
comedian.
Hannibal Lecter.
No,
yeah,
I'm talking about Hannibal of
I saw the comedian. He was
of the
great.
Punic Wars.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
very
that guy
funny.
with
I'm talking about Hannibal of the Punic Wars in Italy's history
Man, I don't
or
know,
Roman
man.
history.
Punicorns?
You
so,
go.
So he got misled to go lead a slaughter that I assume didn't end well for him.
No, but he did. He was a
Wait, hold on.
strategic
hold on.
genius.
Let me ask you something. If he was getting such crummy advice from mystical people, why are we still talking about him today? If he was someone who was really getting missteered, he would have been someone who we wouldn't even be going like, oh yeah, yeah, they were a genius, and we're still talking to him.
Seers
about
were
today.
also like weather forecasters,
Right, like,
and
sounds like this
interpreting crop
seer.
yields.
Why aren't like? How come we don't know who this seer is? It sounds like the guy who got successful because of some wizard he had on his crew is just going like, oh, that guy wasn't shit. It didn't have anything to do with him. I was getting misled by him. When really, end of the day, if this was someone who had wizards in his employ and was quote unquote a strategic genius who we still talk about literally millennia afterwards,
Rasputin.
Once again, like why are we discrediting this this obvious mystic person who was working as hard as they could?
Because they changed world events.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, I don't know. I think that we can say that Hannibal had a mystic in his employ, but I doubt that had much to do with, like, unless concretely you can say, yeah, the mystic told him to do this, and
everyone
then
had mystics back then.
and then he wound up with a spear stuck in his head specifically because of that guy's advice. Like, that's one thing, but just to say, yeah, this one campaign didn't work out well for him, like, that's kind of a stretch.
I can kind of see what.
Well, the whole point
No,
of
I can't.
divination is not to say yes or no. It's to say like for future events. You can't divine future events because free will is involved. So they could have said like, "Oh, well, this is likely to happen," and he was like, "Okay."
You can change the actions of man, though.
He might have gone against their words, like, "No, I know better than that. I'm God."
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, you can't ask and
But
say,
anyways,
"Will this happen?" and then know for sure.
To wrap up history, I was sure to save a little extra Mesoamerican information since this week was Cinco de Mayo. And even though I'm Caucasian and I don't know exactly what that means, I want to respect that. And so just kind of share a bit of this. Aztec gods were described as diviners and were closely associated with sorcery. Tezcatlipoca is the patron of sorcerers and practitioners of magic. His name means smoking mirror, a reference to a device used for divinatory scrying. And
well, everyone knows those guys were ancient aliens, though. Don't you watch that show, Ancient Aliens?
The History Channel, aliens, wild, crazy hair, right? That guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
I heard he's kind of a jerk in person.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I think they just keep him really high, and so he just...
I think he does that to himself.
Well, yeah,
just
but
goes
they
to parties and he's like,
probably
"I'm that
help
guy."
him out a little.
The money they give him for being on television certainly helps.
He doesn't take any money for those documentaries. Those are like legitimate.
He pays them, I think.
Yeah, he's paying
investigative.
them for the screen time. It's like ad space he's buying. Oh, that's right. That's
Anyway,
what Ancient Aliens is.
every civilization that developed in pre-Columbian Mexico, from the Olmecs to the Aztecs, practiced divination in daily life, both public and private, and scrying through the use of reflective water surfaces, mirrors,
That's cheap.
or casting of lots were among the most widespread forms of divinatory practice. And visions derived from these hallucinogens and types of medicines that they
I knew
took
it. I knew it.
Well,
were
that's
another
shamanism,
form
dude.
of divination, and are still widely used among contemporary
gotcha.
diviners of Mexico.
Probably.
I got you. Yeah. All right.
And that is history. Thank you.
So they definitely used hallucinogenics to do magic.
Oh, you fucking
just
know
like
they did.
Courtney.
You know they did, man.
I haven't done
Just
that
like
yet.
just like you
I'll be
did to
doing that
Adam
tomorrow.
yesterday.
Look,
They
you
had
can't-
like whole stone
I
trunks.
can't make
full of
someone
them.
trip for a 15-minute Reiki healing and then make them untrip afterwards.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Creature Box. Every month, a brand new box arrives at your door. What's it going to be?
What's in the box?
It starts out as little tiny eggs, but then you see the eggs begin to hatch, and you wonder to yourself, what creature have I gotten?
Do the
this
hatchlings transform?
month? Some of them go through different states of symbiosis.
Can you go to a paywall for accessories?
Oh yeah, that's a Creature Box Plus.
Do they wield special powers?
Certainly they do. The power
my.
to charm you. So anyways, go to creaturebox.com right now and get signed up. Code word WizBiz. That's creaturebox.com/WizBiz. Free trial. And sign up.
Go today. I wish I did yesterday.
Yay!
So, pop quiz. Can anyone tell me how this divination works? It's called electromancy.
Oh, I know.
Yes?
That's like watching storms and how they play across the horizon.
Is that the electromagnetic pulses that make the...
I'm going to guess that electromancy is using any form of electronic device, like a cell phone game or an app, to tell the future.
All right, electromancy refers to the ancient art of practicing divination using a cock to foretell the future.
That's a hard quiz.
Legend says the sorcerer Lambicus used this method to unearth the successor of Valens Caesar in Rome. When the bird pecked at just 4 letters spelling THEO, the sorcerer had all the people whose names begun with these 3 letters killed.
Did he stick
Wait,
it in a
wait a
termite
minute,
mound
okay.
or something?
This
A
was
little bit
followed
of
by a
a
large-scale wipeout of many sorcerers. And
See, I
philosophers.
I was out in Monterey once when I was a kid, and they had this chicken there that could play tic-tac-toe.
Oh wow!
And,
Chicken.
and like he was hard to beat, but like I think it just knew, I don't know what it knew, but it was a tic-tac-toe playing chicken.
Oh, this next one. Okay, you guys have
That
chance to
seems
earn
like-
some
okay,
points
all right.
still.
Wait, I didn't get points for that story about the chicken?
No. Sorry.
Electromancy.
You
That
gotta-
was a
you gotta
form
get
of
the quiz answer
electromancy.
right. All right,
Round 1 over.
alphytomancy.
Is it?
I know this one.
Oh,
Is
Start with
it?
Max.
Is it like a guy named Al who has like a mangy dog
No,
and he uses it to interpret the future?
no, it's not.
No,
Courtney.
I know this one.
It's really like a quiz on knowing the etymology of
That was
words,
kind of a
isn't it?
throwaway.
No, I know
Quiz
this
on
one.
Latin.
Oh, I know
The
this one.
Yeah,
comprehension
this
of
is like
Latin.
how well do you know your
All right.
Latin?
Alphytomancy.
All right, I don't know it. I'm throwing in the.
Oh, I know this one.
What is it?
Well, alphytomancy is when you select a random episode of the 1980s sitcom Alf, and
Oh,
the
here we
events of that episode will play out exactly in the fortune of whoever's fortune you're telling.
He's an alien
That's
who
just
cries
alphamancy.
alcohol. Of course.
Right. He
This is
likes his...
alphytomancy.
Oh, alphytomancy.
All right, ready,
no, wait,
guys?
hold on. Ah.
Determining a guilty party by feeding him or her a loaf of barley bread. Those who experience indigestion are considered guilty.
Oh, man, I would be...
That's
I
man,
think-
man,
Adam, I think you just-
anti-acid reflux disease.
I think I see a pattern here.
So-
I think you just know more
Okay.
Latin than the
Okay,
rest of us.
no, he's got it on a card. He's
No,
reading
I
it off
don't.
a card.
No, I'm
anyway,
remembering this.
Look, no, this is a thing where like that one.
I don't
I want
like
to
these
stop and
Nancy's.
talk about that one for a second.
That
So
one.
basically,
Some stupid
what you're
Nancy's.
saying is anyone who suffers from GERD or acid reflux, as
Is
it's more
guilty.
commonly known, is automatically guilty of
Is this-
whatever they're accused of. That is the biggest load of shit I have ever fucking heard in my life.
Society
Or
still
people that are
stigmatizes that
supposedly-
today.
That was a real airdrop.
Can't have
Shit,
gluten.
No, this is nothing to do with celiac.
Hypoceliac.
This has nothing to do with celiac. This has nothing to do with gluten.
What
This
about
is just
gout?
Whether you get acid reflux or not. This is fucking bullshit.
Indigestion, yeah.
Kangaroo court.
All right, so next up is.
Kangaroo court.
All right, you ready for the next one, you guys? You
I
have a
can't get
chance
a
to
fair
earn 1
trial
point.
around
I'm ready. We're ready. What's up?
Axinomancy.
Jesus.
Axinomancy.
I know this one. I know
Come
this
back
one.
to me.
I know
Go
this
ahead.
one. I know this one.
Come back
Okay,
to me.
go ahead, Drew.
That's where you can tell whether someone is a douchebag or not if they use Axe body spray.
Oh, all right.
I think you got it. I think you
I use
snatched it
Axe
right up
body.
from me.
Well, I used to use Axe
You
body
used to.
wash
I
a
don't.
month
Well,
ago.
body wash or spray.
Just the old stuff.
Remember when we were using that Axe body spray when we went to
For
LA?
armpits?
Yeah, when we went to
Oh,
LA.
yeah,
and
it
we were
works
just
great.
Like, it was awesome.
That's what
That
you
was
need in
so
LA.
Good.
Oh,
It was
that
LA,
LA smell
you cannot
made like
go to
Axe
LA
body
without
spray,
a can of Axe.
like
Yeah,
premium-
especially if you're from Northern
Premium
California.
Yeah, like they're
scent. Premium scent in LA.
Well, okay. So, Courtney, what do you think axinomancy is?
I don't know.
This
If
one's
it has
a
anything-
little easier.
I don't know.
I
I,
think I
I don't
might
know
know.
the etymology. These are just pissing me off because they're.
All right, it has something to do
This is the quiz.
axinomancy.
I'm also gonna opt out of this. round.
Axinomancy is a method.
Can you spell it for me?
Okay, AXINOMANCY.
Axinomancy. Okay, it has to do with variations of like drops of something on a grid or axis.
It's It's throwing an axe on the ground or at a tree.
Fuck that.
The direction of the handle and the blade.
This is not.
Interpreted.
No.
Use a bunch of Latin.
No.
You don't use a bunch of Latin and say axe.
That's called axe throwing, and it don't usually determine anything about whether you lost a finger or not, and that's it. This is bullshit.
Quiz is hard.
right.
Your quiz was I feel I got 100% on that quiz.
I think, yeah.
That was not a whiz
I think
quiz.
I got at least
Okay,
one of them.
I got another one for you guys.
Oh, thanks.
How about Moliosophy? Moliosophy.
You tell someone's
You
moles.
can tell what
tell
their
on
moles
their
are. You can tell
pock
that.
marks.
We all know.
Wow, you guys all got
We all
one
look-
point.
We look at you.
That's what Moliosophy
We
is.
had
It
we had
is?
a psychic
All right.
moment
It's
together.
all around, guys.
Ding, ding, ding. You guys all got points. So everyone's 1-1-1.
All
All
won.
right.
Yeah.
How much do you guys want for your points?
How much what?
How much? Like, what are your rates? Like, I'll buy your points from you. How much?
Another
Make
beer.
a deal here.
You
All right,
can
sold. All right, 1 point for Max. You want another beer?
Yeah, but you
All right, perfect. All right, 2 points. I have 3 points, Adam.
He won. He won it. I think he deserves a prize.
All right.
that's the prize is
Well,
2 beers.
I got more.
Oh,
if-
shit.
Well, I'm in the lead
Okay.
though. All right.
All right.
let's
What
keep
about this
going.
one? Gyromancy.
Oh, that's like when you meet Gyro McDuck and he
Gyro? It's,
he takes you in his time tub,
no, dude.
right?
All right. How about Courtney? Gyromancy. Think about the word gyro.
Yeah, you move around and it tells you what happens.
Gyromancy is
Hey,
where you, gyromancy
I
is
think
where
Courtney
you.
got the-
Let me. Can I go too?
Well, let me hear what you're gonna say. I might
Gyromancy
not.
is where you spin around till you get dizzy, and where you fall down is going to determine how you
It
how
sounds-
you tell the fortune.
It
Yeah,
sounds like
that's
a
exactly
funky
what
Wayne
that
Brady
is,
party.
Andrew.
I knew what the actually did.
fucker.
I actually did know that one.
So I'm giving a half point to Courtney for
don't-
getting it first.
You can just
on,
have my
you know,
half point, Drew.
Thank you.
won
And
everything.
and 1 point to Drew for just doing it exactly.
Knowing actually knowing exactly what something meant in this
All right, you
quiz.
guys. This next one is going to be for 3 points. All right.
How many more?
Well,
are
hold
there?
on.
Is this the last one?
Can we just pause? Like, Adam,
Yeah.
how's the like?
What
I
are-
don't know. People, we may not know. Adam is actually a substitute high school teacher, and he has these like everywhere he goes, he wants it to be like Welcome Back, Kotter. So when he's here with us, he tries to make it as much like Welcome Back, Kotter as he
Good
can.
for you, Adam.
Because his
I'm-
real life as a substitute high school teacher is nothing like Welcome Back, Kotter. So
I
this
feel
is
like
his
you're
this is
you're
his
very
moment.
much
This is all
against
made
the
up.
idea
This is
of quizzes.
You mean like Cotter
and
pin?
homework?
yeah.
Because
no.
I've heard you last time when I was here. He was talking about your assignments, and you're like, no
You're
one
not my
gives me
professor.
assignments.
Yeah, you're not my professor.
But assignments we now know make the show better.
Yeah, I'm
think
aware
so.
of that. I'm not.
It's the terminology you don't like.
Okay, so we're going to do one more. Okay, this is for
Fuck.
how many? Okay, so Andrew, how many points do you have?
I
All
have
of them.
3.5 right now.
I have
Or no,
no
4.5
points.
right now because I bought 2 from them. She gave me her
Oh, that
half
was a
point, and I
bad
got
move.
the one answer.
I hope you made a good deal.
Well, what is the end? What's the end game here?
I'd say it's a pretty
To win
level
this game.
playing
I want
I
the
don't
points.
ca- I'm not
I
a
don't care.
competitive
I'm
person.
gonna win.
This next one is worth
That's good.
4.5 points.
So shut up.
Oh,
Okay, now I kind of want to get it.
Okay, so this is called
head to head.
Hold on.
ornithomancy.
Wait, say it again.
Spell it.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, ornithomancy.
Spell it.
Ornithology.
Ornithology.
ORNITHOMANCY.
That
Does it
means
have anything to do
using
with the
your
stars?
vocal cords to like get into like a funk and speak.
Something to do with the stars.
It's birds.
Ding ding ding
use
ding.
birds.
Divination
Oh,
through
fuck.
interpretation
Oh my
of
God.
behavior, flight, and
That's
songs
the only
of
one
birds.
I cared about because I just want to throw the whole game.
All right.
Oh man, so I guess Diamond Drew Cox is
Actually, news like didn't want to do the
throw
quiz,
them
but
coins
actually,
and just rake it all
actually
in.
could have answered more of those than I wanted to.
Okay. And here's some fun facts about divination. Are you guys ready for these? You want to hear me talk some
Yeah.
more?
Yes.
In the late 1960s, during the Vietnam War, some United States Marines used dowsing in an attempt to locate weapons in tunnels.
Nice.
Did you know that?
No.
And in ancient Greece, the Haruspex
Oh,
diviner.
man, I wish you had given me dowsing for this, because
Well, you
I've
want a
actually
sage
done
in
that
your party.
before. Like, I actually probably would have done a better job on my. But man, I didn't even think about it when we were talking about this. I just wanted to get into the one
You
you
want
gave
someone
me on
with
that.
aspects.
Anyway, so
Man, dowsing is cool.
So in Greece, the Haruspex interpreted the divine will by inspecting the entrails of a sacrificial animal. First, the animal was ritually slaughtered. Next, it was butchered, with the Haruspex examining the size, shape, color, markings of certain internal organs, usually the liver.
What comedian did a bit on like, and then we'll find out what happens in the future by cutting this animal apart? Like, what there was a
It's
comedian
like
who
a
did
human
that bit,
anthropology
wasn't there?
interpretation here. I
Man.
think the grosser the method, the more like trust that people had in the seer or whoever. It's like, oh, only they can interpret nature like that.
Someone
I just
died
see a
to
bunch
make
of
it.
No,
sheep guts.
like I think that was one of the things where like that was back in the days where like if you had sheep guts, you were like, that dude had a sheep.
You were
like,
so
yeah, you were somebody. Like,
You were
that
They were
was-
willing
yeah.
to sacrifice.
Yeah, like
something,
you had a sheep.
maybe.
You had an extra sheep.
He's
you could
got
just
4
fucking
walls
kill
around him,
like that.
you know?
Yeah, like he has
It's
twice
like rappers
he has
today
twice
lighting
as
their
many
blunts with
leather.
$100 bills.
He has twice as many leather bits as I do. Like yeah,
Well, in the human brain, though, you think like sacrifice means worth. You
they
know?
would
So-
eat those
so
animals
to sacrifice
though. Anyway.
something.
This is part of the history. This is in China. The earliest confirmed evidence of divination was found on a turtle shell.
Oh, the turtle shell script.
Yeah, 7,000 BC.
Yup.
That's
Way
the beginning
back
of
then.
language in China. I
This is
think.
before Christ even came
know.
out.
Poser.
That's just amazing.
In the late 1820s, Joseph Smith founded the Latter-day Saint movement, based in part on what was said to be information obtained miraculously from reflections of seer stones. Did you guys know this?
Yeah.
Smith had at least 3 separate stones, including his favorite, a brown stone he found during excavation of a neighbor's well. He initially used these stones in various treasure digging quests in the early 1820s, placing the stone in the bottom of his hat, putting his face in the hat to read what he believed were the miraculous reflections from the stone.
Got a Miss Cleo going on right there.
He would eat a lot of datura before he did that.
He also had
Heard some
access.
things about that.
He had access to a separate set of spectacles composed of seer stones, which he called Urim and Thummim. He said through these stones he could translate the golden plates that are stated as the source of the Book of Mormon. So yeah, he was doing divination just to get the Book of Mormon.
I guess the
Hey, you know what?
Israelites
Like
and Latter-day Saints share that philosophy.
I mean, do you have anything
Or
like,
return.
you know, that you're writing that you like sit down and go, this is my thing I'm working on. Maybe I'll have enough text in one place to have like a cohesive thing. Like, you know, it's nice to have methods to get yourself in the headspace for
Get
you know,
into
writing
kind of
stuff.
get kind of funky.
I mean,
yeah.
not to discount, you know, what, you know, I mean, not to discount whether you believe that was a thing or not, but like, yeah, he definitely used those things to do that, which is cool. And,
Pulling,
I know, like, if I could, man, if it were that easy to just be like, yeah, just put on my special specs, stare at the stone, boom, I'm gonna bust this thing out. Like, and he did it. Like, if that ain't miraculous, I don't know what the,
You
like,
could
I don't know
see-
what it
you
is.
could
You know,
see
like,
him right now? Use those
no,
to
no,
find
no, no,
more
no. I'm
stones.
saying,
and if
I
he's
like
lying, then
like,
God
paint it
strike
on
me
well,
the
no,
dead.
no,
side.
I'm not even addressing that factor of this. What I'm saying is the guy managed to get that whole thing down onto paper from just like getting himself ready from either seeing things inside of a hat actually, or just using that as a method to get his
He was taking
work
some
done.
psychedelics, I think.
And he was eating datura.
So that's why it's all weird and like everybody's comes from space
And
originally.
he predicted Howard Hughes.
Well, I mean, the Mormon thing and Howard Hughes, that's...
What is that?
That's a
They're
little
very well
crazy.
connected.
What is that?
Well, the Mormons basically controlled his real estate portfolio by the end of his life. Like, he's the man who built Utah.
I had a great aunt named Nora Hughes. You know,
Any relation to the great
no
aviator and
freaking
developer?
idea. It's probably buried in a file cabinet underground somewhere. Yeah.
This guy John Hughes, is he the one that directed 16 Candles?
Yeah.
He is.
You know, man, if you did anything from a John Hughes movie, I think like you'd probably get arrested real fast. Like we told you not to come back here, and now you're out here with a boombox. We told you can't talk to my daughter anymore. It's like. Yeah, they're gonna call the cops. Like,
oh, this is one that I think
stealing people's underwear like that. You get arrested for that. Like,
Saint Bart.
do anything in a John Hughes movie, you're going to jail.
that's the Let's Just Be Wizards promise.
Yeah.
Andrew, have you ever heard of Megapolisomancy?
Megapolis-omancy?
Yeah.
Megapolis.
It means you're MacGyver.
Man, like,
And
what
an
is-
op-
It comes from Fritz Lieber's novel Our Lady of Darkness, and it's the art of predicting and manipulating the future through the existence of large cities.
okay, I was gonna say, well, a megapolis is like a metropolis
Oh.
but bigger.
Yeah.
That
So,
goes back to like Two River Town.
Hold on, it is like a Two River Towns thing. So like if I do like street view, like, and I'm just kind of like zoning out, looking at random objects I see on the streets of Mexico City, and I go and I find significance in these random objects, and let the fortunes kind of
Like
flow
studying-
through. I've actually done this.
Studying
I didn't
a
know it
hive.
had a name.
See, that's why I thought this would seem like a thing that Andrew would
Because
probably dig.
I do street view in big cities around the world all the time. Like I find it fascinating to watch all that stuff
The
frozen
whole
in
Sacramento
time there.
I've done that
metropolitan
a couple
area
times.
looks like an asteroid.
Sacramento's interesting because, all right, you take a street view like New York City or Mexico City, and there's always people on the street. There's always cars on the street. There are always animals kind of scurrying around. That's the difference between, we're talking about megapolis here. We're talking about a megapolis. We're not talking about like a two river town like Sacramento.
Talking about a
Like,
real tourist
when you look
city.
when you look at Sacramento on Street View, some of the images will have lots of cars and people around, but then as you click through, as the different times of day that the photos were taken become evident from where they are, this place looks freaking empty in some of those. And like if you go to
They didn't
Street
take the
View,
pictures on second Saturday.
yeah, and
today.
there's areas
Oh,
where like you'll
snap.
go out and you'll be like you'll get through that part of the map and you'll be like, oh, it was rush hour when they took these pictures.
Yeah.
And it's obvious. But outside of that, yeah, you can't really do that with those images because there's just not enough going on.
Well, so check this out. The key to megapolisomancy apparently lies in the construction of the city itself,
Yeah.
dependent upon such things as diagonal streets, fulcrums, based on the placement
Washington,
of extremely tall
D.C.
buildings. Yes.
Washington D.C. the
Oh yeah,
owl.
let's talk. Yeah,
And other
oh, no.
geographical
The owl.
calculations.
This is-
Moloch.
More like
Child,
of
no, guys.
yeah.
Never mind.
The whole Columbia area.
All right, I'm
everything
putting all
everything
that
from
back in the
Baltimore,
box. Never mind.
everything
Here
from
we go.
Baltimore to Columbia, everything in Maryland and Pennsylvania, everything from there in between. It's all haunted, and the signs are all there. And there's a reason why some will rise to power and others will fall.
Some
gotta-
crazy
you gotta-
mad
you-
ship
why do you think?
Reptilians.
Why do you think they left all those buildings? Why do you think they just left? They just were like, we're not going to be here anymore. This city has run its course.
It's decrepit.
It's just ghosts.
It's a
It's
hollow.
just ghosts in Baltimore.
It's a ghost,
Reptilians as
ghostly
well.
hollow.
No, just
They're hovering above the atmosphere.
just retired, just out of work cops and their skinny little friends.
All right. So, yeah, those were some fun facts about divination you guys might not have heard of. So, yeah. Let's get on and we went out, we had an assignment, a homework assignment.
Oh my god!
Graded
Yes,
homework
oh my
assignment.
God, yeah.
And we were all supposed to go out
Graded
and
on
use
the
our own
curve.
form of divination and kind of play around with it. And yeah, let's go around the table here. Let's see, Max, what divination did you study?
Well, as a broad term, I'd studied Nordic runes, and I made a set actually of runes on popsicle sticks. Wow! Got it at Walmart.
Wait, did you eat all those popsicles?
No, I got these. at
Oh
Walmart.
man!
It's recycling month.
There's a method of making these where you make like tokens from a fruiting wood,
from a fruity popsicle?
That is more. That is almost in like late flowering stage, and then you imbue it with your blood and with like some kind of tannin to seal them.
How much blood did you imbue these with?
None, actually. This is just
So these are a mock-up,
This
then?
is a learning tool, yes.
Okay,
I wanna
these
be
are a
able to,
mock-up then.
Remember
That makes
these
sense.
and
They're like flashcards
Yeah.
kind of.
for studying.
How many
so-
are there?
What's that?
How many?
Well, I made. I did a guide from the site sunnydale.com or
How many are there?
Sunnyway. There's 24.
Okay, so how
And they're
much was that
divided-
bag of popsicle sticks?
Huh?
How much was the bag of popsicle
Irrelevant.
sticks? No, I'm gunning at something here. How much were the popsicle
Like
sticks?
$3.
Okay. Yeah, man, you could have just gone to Costco and got a big 24 pack of popsicles. Maybe like $1 more.
But then they'd
and
be all
you wake up-
greasy
Yeah,
from the
but we
wanted
would
them
have
to be
all
popsicle
got
blank
to
in a
eat
sense, and it's not blank if
popsicles.
there's-
And then
if there's
they wouldn't
frozen
be
fruit
imbued
around
with they wouldn't be imbued with blood, but they'd be imbued with some saliva, which is you're halfway there at that point.
They'd be
So,
imbued with some red 5 and yellow 6 and a bunch
Max,
of
I don't
bullshit.
know. What if you just get the fudgicles? Those break away pretty
Well, what
clean.
you made looks nice. His
Anyways,
popsicle
moving
stick
on.
learning room.
Man, I really could go for a popsicle.
I'm
right
going to
now.
explain these a little bit if you will
say.
allow me.
Yeah.
But the 24 runes of the Elder Futhark, or the oldest known from the mainland of Germania, Pax Germania, around that time when the Romans came and before. They're divided into 3 groups of 8. That's Freya's 8, Heimdall's 8. Everybody knows who Freya is, of course. Heimdall was the servitor of the Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Connection.
Yeah, the connection to Yggdrasil. And then there's Tyr's 8. And so basically I went with the method where you have them in a bag of sorts. If you can't see them, it's better, but you can just close your eyes, reach in the bag, shake it up, and draw 5 and lay them down in kind of a plus sign pattern with 1 in the center. And you're supposed to be in like a state of mind when you're doing this, thinking about your situation in life, whatever perceived problems you might have, and then you ask a question like, how can I do better at my job? Or how can I prepare for this hard task I have to do in the future? And so it kind of tells you your past, present, future,
It's like tarot cards.
and what might be helping or hindering you.
Yeah.
So, I don't even remember what lot I drew, and there's 28 of these, and I'm going to have to look up the meaning from the website. But the overall idea I got from these is that it can be a useful tool and just thinking about, possibilities and, problems you might run into with like either your job or certain people or certain times of the year. But,
You dropped your sticks. Your runes.
God. I'm sorry.
Oh, everything is ruined.
But an important thing to remember if you ever try these is to face north when you're doing it, because that's the direction of Asgard. Apparently, Odin, one of the main gods of the pantheon, and
See to the left.
yeah, he impaled himself with his own spear while hanging from the world tree in order to discover the
Like a
runes.
dork, right?
Yeah.
Total spaz.
No, don't
Total
say that.
spaz.
Don't say that. But anyways, another
Fell
thing to
on his own
remember
spear when
is
trying to climb a tree.
Never invoke Thor while using these, because Thor has been known to be a vengeful.
God, and that movie
my
was that,
spirit
and that
animal.
movie was unwatchable. Oh my God.
It was, but
Never
in
watched it.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
it's
kind
how
of a poor-
unwatchable it was. Yeah.
It was kind of a poor representation of the Norse pantheon. Yes.
Yeah. But accurate.
I
Yeah.
wonder if
Well,
the people who
I
made
gotta
that movie,
ask-
those movies will be struck down.
I gotta ask,
Some
Max.
point.
Did you successfully
magic?
do any divinations using your method?
Well, I did this at first this last Wednesday, and I said what problems I'm going to run into at work this week. So it kind of told me people, from what you got to read the descriptions of each one, depending on if it's the past.
Regardless of that, were they accurate?
I think so.
Okay. Wow. All right.
I think so. But
Nice.
you got to be in a certain state of mind, and of course, using your own hand-hewn ones with just the iconography on it.
Would you make a set of hand-hewn ones? Do you feel they're
thinking-
accurate enough that you would
thinking about
continue
it.
this method of divination?
I'm thinking about it, but I want to use some non-deciduous wood, so not.
Yeah,
wood.
man. Yeah, I wouldn't want
I
to
wanna
use any
use oak.
kind of
I want to use white
some
oak.
hardwood. White oak is nice. I
What
got
about
some,
that wood in my backyard?
we have a lot of oak here. I've got some.
Remember that big log
Yeah,
we
I have
got?
some branch
So-
stock that I can pew down.
Oh yeah, dude. We got
and
a
saw.
lot of oak.
Yeah.
Tokens.
We got a lot of oak. I've got some mahogany, if you would like that too.
Nothing non-alpinous or
It's
jungle.
Japanese mahogany. It's
Japanese mahogany.
It's decent stuff.
Is there such a thing, Andrew?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Tamahogany?
take him up on his offer. Take me up on the offer. If you
Okay.
need some oak, come by.
We got oak. We got
You got
mahogany.
oak up to-
I'm gonna fill
oak.
my trunk with some
You guys
oak,
have got
you guys.
wood. That's
Yeah.
the point. If they have
Well,
wood
no,
for
maybe
you.
not fill it, but yeah, I'll take some oak.
Okay, cool. Well, nice. Thanks
Cool.
for that.
Thank you, guys.
And now it's time for Andrew to talk about the I-Ching.
I-Ching. The I-Ching is old. It's the oldest divination ever. Mm-hmm. It's from China. Goes back to I think it was.
Is it the 9 or
Hold
10
on. I got
trigram?
I got this written down. I just it went away for
He's
some
dusting
reason.
off
I'm not
his
dusting.
notebook.
I'm getting my ancient tome here. Goes back to the 10th or 4th century BC, depending on which historical person you ask. And I guess it started. All right, let me try to explain how this works. You've got these things of lines.
Uh-huh.
And you've either got a broken line
The split.
or a full line. And the way you determine which line you're going to get is by typically flipping coins, though traditionally it was done with shells or really anything you can get your hands on. Sticks work.
So that's how you build the symbol.
But yeah, the symbol basically just looks like a box made of these lines, and then you get
stack of
a
lines.
series of them together, and then each individual unique one has its own meaning within the I-Ching. Much like what Max was saying, it's so much stuff just to get into in our 1 hour podcast. You could probably spend multiple hours on the I-Ching alone if you did the proper research,
Preparation and reference,
or
yeah.
actually had a better grasp of it. Now, I'm not trying to actually offer anyone an expert understanding of what the I-Ching is, merely share my experience in my attempt to use the I-Ching to just be a wizard. Now, the way I understood to do this best of all, which I actually learned originally from an episode of Mad Men, was you get some coins and then you throw them down on the ground and then you start from top to bottom to determine what your ruin is going to be. So that would be
So it's a
broken
casket.
line, broken line, broken line, broken line, unbroken line, broken line. And that would be our first symbol.
Okay.
And you
Can we
look it
actually
Y'all
look
have
up what
really
that is?
descriptive explanation.
I have wanted to try the I-Ching
they're
a
really
little
long.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this became tedious for me to do this, to draw all these lines, and I was like, okay, cool, I got this. I got all my patterns down. I drew a few of these, and then, man, I went to looking up what each one of the symbols meant,
Yeah.
and man, not only could I not get a consistent. I'd go to one source and it would say that symbol meant one thing. Then I'd go to another source I found and it would say it meant something kind of different. So apparently there was a lot of room for interpretation over the millennia that this system has
Did you
been
ask it a
around.
question, though?
Now, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm getting to that. So, I got into this just kind of researching how to do it and what it was. And I did ask it a question initially, but...
They have nice engines.
But
online
the
for that.
I'm getting to that part, Max. Come on, guys. Let me. So they do have things online for this, which is actually what I wound up using because throwing coins and drawing these things out and then looking up the ruins individual. I guess they were. I'm calling them ruins because you called them that.
Tetragrams.
But what do we call them? Tetragrams.
Yeah, tetragrams.
Looking up the tetragrams individually. It was just taking up a lot of time, and I didn't really get it. So I found a website that just would run them for you. You'd write down your question and then click, and it gives you your tetragrams, and then it gives you, a bunch of text this long that reads like a 16-paragraph fortune cookie about...
they have nice stories.
About, I guess, if you're into that style narrative, I don't find those to be stories. What I would say for this particular method of divination, I couldn't tell how what they were saying as an answer even related to the questions I was asking.
That's the point, though.
No. What I would say about this is, if I were suggesting someone wanted to just be a wizard, this is not a divination method I would recommend to anyone.
Carl Jung was a wizard, right?
I'm not saying.
This is one of
now, here's
Alistair
the thing.
Crowley's favorites.
I've heard,
and I
That
bet
was
it was,
his favorite.
and I'll bet it was. And
Ritual.
here's the thing about Crowley was he was the kind of guy who liked to dive in deep and get into that kind of thing. Like, he was the guy who'd be like, no, you have to have the entire thing memorized, and if you don't, you're not a real wizard.
You see
but
what?
I'll point out that this show isn't called "Let's Be Real, Very Well Studied Wizards." It's
Oh, of
called
course
"Let's Just Be Wizards." So,
just be wizards.
if I was going to recommend, to just do something, I think it requires cutting a few corners. And if there's one corner I could recommend cutting, it would be the I-Ching, because that thing makes no
Take a
sense to
semester of it
me
and
whatsoever.
college.
a quick suggestion on like runic or tetragram type divinations is you just pick one and you look at it and you like meditate on it and kind of
It's
look
like
at
with
its
tarot cards,
meaning or
same thing.
description. It's kind of like angel cards.
I like
a
the
lot
tarot
of
cards
studying.
because at least with the tarot cards, there seemed to be a level of consistency that I could grasp. That there was some interpretation to it, but I think the thing about the I-Ching, and this is just kind of like a theory I want to throw out there, that it's been around so long, no one knows what the original legit things those meant were, and no one knows what all the interpretations that everyone else threw in over time are. So I can't, and I get that, oh no, it's a tradition, it's been passed down on and on and on. But I look at how inaccurate some of the interpretations of that tarot lady we were hanging out with a couple weeks back.
Me?
No, not you, someone else.
From the Ordo
I know,
Templis.
from the OCO, yeah. I was making a joke.
That it really seemed like, oh man, that reading you gave me totally right about that. And I was like, I'll just ignore that for a minute. But I was like, no, totally needed to be avoiding that person.
She gave
Like,
me
you
a
were
good
totally
reading
right.
one time. I
You were
remember.
totally right, by the way. Yeah, you're not your tarot reading. Yours was on point. But back to what I was getting at was, like, if you got someone like that, and then someone really went, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to remember how she interpreted that. And when I explain it to the next person, that's how I'm going to explain it. I mean, that's how these things wind up, I think, getting misinterpreted. And you just look at how long that one's been around. 400 years before, 400 to 1,000 years before Christ, y'all. That's a long damn
But the
time
spirit
ago.
is still the same.
I get it. It's a tradition that's
It's
been
like
passed
trying to
down,
learn
but I
Aramaic,
just think
you can't
it's.
just pick it up.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those things where, man, if I really wanted to understand what this even is,
You need to read a book.
well, no, I got a book and I tried to read it, and it felt like it was dumbing it down too much for me to actually understand what it was. I got something like the easy tarot, or not the easy tarot, the easy I-Ching or something like that. or I-Ching Made Simple.
Yeah.
So I did check that one out. I did read a book. Don't come at me
I-Ching.
like that, teacher man. Assuming I didn't do any reading over here.
I got the one that was the easy way out.
I don't know
Easy
what
way out of
I don't
the
know
very verbose.
what you think I'm getting at here. That like I was being lazy about
Nothing,
it,
man.
No,
Nothing
just
that,
like
man.
no, it's just like
Homeboy
Did the
did his
I-Ching
homework.
make you defensive?
I think what I think is no, what I think is that it's never gonna be enough for Professor Adam. I could show up with a freaking
I think
foam core.
am I-
I could show up with a foam core
Am I a
presentation
groundskeeper?
with
What am I then?
I could come up here with no, Max, you're not putting me under the microscope like he is.
I don't think
I could
Adam's
show up here with
displeased with your findings,
with a foam core presentation and a PowerPoint and clip art and a tie
Drew.
and shit, and it would still
Drew, I value-
he would still just be like, this guy's just
I value
never
your
gonna get-
interpretations of
Never
this.
gonna do any work for this show. Like I'm not here to give an expert, rundown of what this thing is. I'm here to talk about my experience
All
in
you had to
attempting
do,
it.
Andrew,
Yeah.
was draw some lines, some straight, some broken. Look it up.
It's never just that,
And
though.
real-
It's no, yeah.
Find your truth. Did
I
you
tried
find your
that.
truth?
No, I didn't find anything. It was not. It was
want me
all
to draw a
nonsense.
line
What I'm
down
telling you
South
is,
for you?
what I'm telling you
South
is,
Korea?
is I drew the lines and it gave me no answers.
It was not for you.
I got no answers from the I-Ching.
All right.
So that's you. So mission successful, right?
Homework done. I'll take my
Homework
A.
A+.
Thank you.
All right. C+. All right. So we're moving on.
Oh, both sides, dude. Oh my god.
What the one that I did is one that I think Courtney could. What?
Come on, let him do his thing.
Go
Let him
for
do
it.
his-
Yeah, do it.
I
One
wanna
that
hear-
I
wanna
did.
hear- I'm
You
interested
did.
in what he has to say.
Is a pendulum divination. Okay, so you guys see this in my hand. What is this?
That's
It's
a
a,
piece of argonite.
No, tourmaline.
It's tourmaline, yeah.
Yeah.
Or black tourmaline. It's cool.
And I have it on a chain, and now Courtney knows more
Have
about
a
this.
pendulum as well.
You have a
Mine's-
real pendulum, so can I do it with this necklace?
Do you want to use that, or do you want to use this one? Do whatever.
I want to use this one just
If-
because I used this
pendulum.
one.
Yeah, it would make
Pendulum
more
you right
sense
now.
because you
I
have.
got a pendulum. I'm gonna make a pendulum.
Oh, I got a
Oh,
shoe-
you think you're so crafty?
Oh, yeah?
I got a
Oh, yeah?
shoelace.
I'm gonna make
I
a
got mine
pendulum
out first.
out of
Whoa,
stuff
how about
I
that?
find
How about that?
on the floor here. Give me that shoelace, Max. I
How
need
about
the
that?
shoelace.
Oh, look,
I
it's
don't-
going.
My
It's already
shoes
just
don't
going.
have laces, though.
No, it's fine. I got this.
I'm sorry, I
got
won
this.
all
I got-
8.5
I'm
points
wearing
from
old
earlier.
people work
All right,
shoes
so do
right
we all
now.
have our pendulums now? Andrew's turning his
we all
keys
doing a
into a
pendulum?
pendulum. You have a pendulum, Max.
I don't-
You be
I
the
just-
judge.
I
You
just
tell
was-
us
Okay.
who's
I was just
pendulum-
whipping mine
who's
out. I
cheating.
wasn't actually.
Go
gonna
ahead and
use
tell
it.
us some more about your experience with it.
So yeah, I was using this
We'll catch
tourmaline
up.
on a chain basically to be my pendulum, and how it works is I ask it a question. You know, I'm holding it right now. It just freely hanging down. Courtney is also holding hers. It looks like a little magic bullet on a
I
string.
call it my magic bullet.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? I'm at the pendulum party too.
Drew
Yeah.
made a pendulum out of a dreidel and a keychain.
Oh, I got a mic.
How you like me now? Oh, is that extra credit, Professor?
So now everybody ask their pendulum a question. Or no, let's all ask our pendulums
I
a question.
want to ask your pendulums questions.
Wait, let me do my golden dome.
Can I do that?
protection.
Wait, golden dome protection. Wait.
Since I'm the one
Okay.
without.
All right, good. So now let's ask them a question.
Adam thinks he's so smart just because he went to. Wait, that's not a question.
Okay, let me ask Drew's one a
right.
question. All right, do the Patriots or the Cowboys
yes or
sell
no.
more soda?
Yes or no?
Who?
Question.
Wait. Do the Patriots sell more soda than the Cowboys? Absolutely not.
Oh, you know how to interpret this? Mine like swings side to side if it's the answer is no, and forwards and backwards.
Yeah,
if you
mine
Probably
goes-
should
mine
just give a
goes,
little
um,
bit. Like, did you introduce it at all?
Not
Maybe
really,
just give a
no,
little
but
intro on it.
yeah, pendulum usage. Well, why don't you tell us, Courtney?
Oh God. Okay. Well, now I'm stealing your thunder because this was your homework.
Oh, this is. Oops.
Well, it just so happened synchronistically that yesterday when you came over for the Reiki healing, we started talking about the pendulum, and we used this pendulum, mine, and asked it some questions. But yeah, so basically you hold it, sort of, you can hold it however you want, but for me, I try to steady my arm so that I'm not moving, and hold it between two fingers. There's a chain with some kind of weighted. It can be anything. I used to use a necklace like you're using.
It can literally be anything.
That
It can
looks
be
like a
anything with
mason's measuring tool, kind of.
It could be a chain.
Your pendulum is swinging.
Mine
right
is
now.
always going
circle.
in a circular because I'm really tapped into it. I use it. I don't use it too frequently, but I've had it for a while, and so I have sort of a relationship with the object. And
Yeah.
I think the longer you have it and the more you use it, the more powerful it becomes. So yeah, it just starts going in circles like this until I ask it a question. And then when I ask it a question, for me, you have to ask it like a control question to see which way is which.
Yeah, don't they invert sometimes? I used
Well-
to do this with my old pendulum, not this one. I
Mine
just
never
made
has.
this one. I had one that was almost always inverted.
Invert. You
I mean, so that I would ask it a control question, but what would have been a negative or a positive on
Switches.
it would always be
Oh.
switched. Like if it showed negative, like you'd ask it the control question, and it's like what's negative, what's positive. It would show that, but then whatever I would divine with that pendulum would almost always be the opposite of whatever the pendulum said.
So something that we
So
all
I
know
knew
to
if
be
it
true
said an
is the
affirmative,
question.
if I knew it said an affirmative, I could almost always count on that being the opposite.
The thing about
that's
any divinatory
complicated.
tool, though, is that you have to have some kind of protection before you go into it. Like call on some protective force.
Yeah.
So that because these negative entities want to get in, and like with the Ouija board, you're almost always talking to a lower
You have to invoke
dimensional
a guide.
frequency being. So they're drawn to it because they have that mischief quality, and they want to fuck with you. So it's really important to do some kind of, whatever you're cast a circle or whatever you feel is protective for you.
What kind of protection do you cast? Or if you want to.
I actually fucks with angels. Like archangels. Archangel Michael is the archangel of protection, and I don't look at angels in an Anglo-Saxon type of way. To me, they're just like these beings that kind of assist from fifth dimensional.
What about
reality.
Sandalphon? Would he be a good?
He
Gimmel, I get all the points
Gimmel?
at the dreidel.
Gimmel.
It's when you win.
Oh, okay. You're holding a dreidel on a string.
That's what I
Anyway.
made my pendulum. What was a dreidel doing on the floor here?
was there a dreidel?
There was a dreidel on the floor, just
Heresy.
sitting on the floor.
It's manna
Which is
from
also a
heaven.
divination instrument.
We could have just used the dreidel. You're
Yeah.
right. Oh man, I kind of missed the mark on that. Well, look, I made a pendulum. Doesn't
So
matter.
what I'm getting at is it's very important to have, and so yeah, for my protection, I utilize Archangel Michael, or in
Starring John Travolta.
or in ancient Jewish mysticism, Mikhail,
Oh, my pie.
which is what I had to call him when I first started messing with these energies, is because I was looking at it too like much of like in a Christian way.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are these fucking dudes with halos and flowing gowns? Like I couldn't get past it.
No,
But
he
once
was
I
like a
started really,
cornflakes eating guy in a London fog trench coat with bird wings on his back.
They're just
We
So
remember
angels
what
are-
he was
that
like
steer
in
the
that
world.
movie.
so angels are in
And
every
those
culture.
guys from the National Enquirer show up to take a picture of him, but he's like,
Do you want to get out of here or what?
no, I'm just.
I'm trying to get
Totally
I'm trying
legit.
to trying to blow through this here. So angels are like these, just beings of energy, right? They're not specific to any religion. They have devas in Hinduism, and you have the Sephirah, which we talked about briefly when we were talking about the tarot, in Kabbalistic magic and that sort of thing. So they're across all cultures.
Dejeen.
But yeah, so I call on Archangel Michael, and it's just like with this pendulum, I have a personal relationship with that energy. So as soon as I call on it, it's boom, it's there. It's really quick.
Nice.
But in the beginning, it was really hard, and it would take a long time. But now it's quick, and I call on this thing called the Golden Dome of Protection.
Yeah.
This is
It's like a priori incantatum. You can do it immediately.
Yeah, it's just boom. I did it at a certain point during this podcast because I felt like there was some negativity in this like
You could
physical
pick that
room.
up?
Yeah, it was a little
Off
weird.
Of me.
No, not from anyone just in the room.
No, not from anyone personally.
Do you see shadow people sometimes?
No, I don't.
I
See
do.
anything. When I close my eyes, if I'm doing a healing, I'll see weird. Like I told you, I would see like black kind of spots and things.
Where were the black spots on me the most?
I didn't see anything like that when I was doing the angelic Reiki healing. Before that, when I was calling in the Golden Dome to do the protection, that's when I would see those things, and I just kind of mentally sort of blast them with
Golden Dome, Chinese buffet.
Can anybody be healed? I want to be healed.
Anyone who is receptive to healing energy can be
it's
healed.
It's a chain of all-you-can-eat Chinese buffets that are in like a geodesic dome for golden domes.
Golden
Yeah,
dome.
Mongolian barbecue.
I
Dragon
love
Dome.
the Golden Dome.
Golden domes, Mongolian barbecue.
I used the Golden Dome
Yeah.
to do my cord cutting ceremony too, to cut me away from that awful person.
Yeah.
And I suggest that.
That's a creepy story about how that cord looked that you had to cut.
That it was like a dark brown, like greenish brown. And it was like all withering and stuff.
It had changed hue.
Yeah, it was a cord between me and another person that I cut.
Tethering.
And so as soon as I cut that cord, that person left.
That reminds me of the fates of Greek mythology.
What?
The three sisters who shared an eye, and they would cut people's mortal coils.
Yeah. You also have cords in relationships to other people, in any kind of relationship, family, whatever. And it's important to like cut those
or define the influence
once it's run its course with that person, or you have when you need someone out of your life, it's really good. It's a good idea to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, kind of off topic there, but yeah, that's what I do for my protection is the Golden Dome of Protection.
I think that'd be good for people to know who are interested in practicing themselves, how to protect themselves. Maybe we should do our next show on that, like protection, or setting up
magic.
kind of
it's
stuff.
like number one before anything else.
Or charms, like a charm, sort of.
Yeah, what's the most basic like daily practice that we should have as wizards?
Breathing exercises.
I think there's the standard the light moving through your body kind of thing. You've heard that meditation
No,
before.
I haven't.
It's actually in that Modern Magic by Donald Michael Craig
That you have, Max.
that I brought last time. It's
Llewellyn, yeah.
that's like high ceremonial magic. One of the first things he goes into is this. It's a very standard meditation, and it's like the white light meditation. And all you do is you call in this white light. If you can't see it, you just pretend you see it.
Do you have to light any candles?
No, nothing. It's all done. Ceremonial magic, high magic is all done without physical tools.
You gotta
White light, white heat.
You gotta use your faith in the process, kind of.
Well, you just develop it, and then pretty soon you will start seeing it every time. And it's really crazy when you start to. That's why I said when I was going into Kabbalistic magic that I kind of backed away after a while because I started to see things when I wasn't doing it, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this is really messing with my head."
You don't want to go too far into the dragon cave,
without a proper guide. But anyway, yeah. So the white light meditation is one of the most basic ones you can do as a magician that you should be doing every day, probably. I would say, and that's a good cleansing for your body, where all your energy is stored in your body. So it's really that's a helpful.
I'll look it up on the
Can I just
YouTube.
pound some water and just move on past that? Can I skip that step if possible?
You're not doing a cleansing.
You can do
man?
whatever you want. Do what thou wilt, right? But it's just how diluted.
Can I just do like?
Oh yeah, right.
Will your magics be? If
Can I
you
just
don't
diluted?
Can I dilute some? What's that? What's that Mexican alcohol drink?
Tequila?
Tequila with yerba mate.
The Mexican alcohol drink. Let's make a brand of tequila. Let's just be wizards. Mexican alcohol drink.
We're brought to you by
Brought to you,
Mexican.
Mexican alcohol drink.
Mate with tequila.
Mexican-
Can that be my daily
Mexican alcohol drink.
ritual?
Made from white agave from Mexico. Mexican
Almost
alcohol
The
drink.
most yellowed of roasted agave.
Well, I think we did a good show, guys.
Hey,
Are you not
Let's-
going to ask maybe a question to your?
Oh yeah,
or
I want to
talk
ask.
about your
I want to
experience?
ask. Andrew has it. Okay, so first,
Hold on, let me hold on. Let me do everything first. Let me just.
I'll hold the space.
No,
if you wanna.
I can actually
We're gonna
do
do a
this
live
and
pendulum.
actually try to
let them grasp the energy.
Try to grasp the energy out and get all the negative energy
he's
out of
pulling
the
all the
room.
negative
All
energy
right.
out of the
Try
pendulum.
and steady your arm on something, and then hold it like this between your fingers.
That.
So that
Between the fingers,
That's why that little thing is there.
you have to hold it in the most dainty way you can. Proper, prim. All right. So first, we have to ask the question. Show us yes. All right, swinging side to side. Show us no.
Kind of a little more
Wait,
up down.
it's got to get some momentum when it. So you might want to stop.
See, it's
it.
already
No,
doing
done.
it.
Questions.
It's doing
It's
it.
saying
no
no.
is up down.
There you go.
A
Okay,
yes
so
is
side to side,
side.
yes. Up down is no. Okay, so
Okay.
now let's ask the pendulum or the spirit. Who are we addressing in this? Oh, well. Do we
It's
have
usually
a
going to be your higher self or your HGA, your guardian angel, whatever.
higher guardian angel? Did we have a rockin' show today? How's it-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know we did.
The pendulum swings side to side.
It was
All
here.
right.
It was part of the
You know
show.
what? I felt good about the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are people going to come and give us 5-star review ratings on iTunes after this show?
Come on. Oh, no. That was.
That just means
Oh, no,
a
it's
4-star, so we can
No.
work with that.
I can live with a 3-star review.
How about a 3-star review? Pendulum.
3-star reviews? Are we going to get any of those? 1-star reviews? Are we going to get any of those?
Uh-oh, it's starting to say
like-
yes. When you
All right, I have a question.
Wait, hold on. Will those 1-star reviews be sincere?
No.
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 They're just people
I
being
have,
trolls.
I have a question for it. In October, my Mexican cruise trip, will it be fraught with
already saying
misfortune?
yes.
Max.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, Max! Don't go on that cruise.
What is it saying?
You're moving too much. Do you want me to hold it?
Is Max going to be safe on his Mexican cruise ship adventure?
No, they're going to
audience
serve him
needs to
too
know.
much Mexican
If it gets-
alcohol drink.
If it
and
gets
he's-
bad, I'll just ride a whale.
Just
back
so
to
everybody knows,
California.
I already know which way mine moves. It moves the same way every time, and it's actually the opposite of the way yours moves, Drew. So side to
does
side
not
is
come as a surprise.
side
to
to
me.
side is
can I-
no, and forward and backward is yes.
Can I re-ask that?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like what that
second
one
opinion.
told me on that
It
one.
was just going round and around.
Right now, it's going in circles. Okay,
Okay.
there's no question.
Most auspicious pendulum. In October, will my Mexican vacation be fraught with disaster? What's it say?
It's moving. Hold on, it was going around in circles, so it's kind of. That's a no.
Okay, thank you.
Well, is he going to have fun?
Let me stop it because I hate when it.
Will I have fun on this trip? No.
That's a yeah. No, mine's yeah. This is mine. Remember, mine's backwards. So
Oh,
that's
you
a
can have fun. Yeah.
I didn't know you were
Is
going
he-
on a
is-
cruise.
is Max-
Will I
Hey.
make it with a
Gonna-
native?
I was just going to ask if you were going to
Let's
get
find-
lucky.
If you
Okay,
pay,
hold on. Let's focus the question. here.
Max is like, oh yeah, I'll
That was
just bring
not a
money.
serious
That's all I
question.
need
I
to
take
do. Yeah,
my-
Max is
I
like,
take
I was
my-
already going to buy. I was going to pay anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
We can
I
ask.
just don't
Will
want
it
to
happen
end up in a tub
Will it
full
happen
of ice, you know?
organically?
Yeah.
Yes, with money. Yes, an organic exchange of currency will result in Max having sex with someone.
It's saying yes.
It's saying yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, transact.
So money or
yes,
not,
yes,
you're gonna get laid.
financial transactions are an organic
No,
occurrence.
but that's the thing, though, is you don't ever want to ask, will this happen? Because will such and such happen definitively?
I better buy my fish scales north of the border.
Yeah.
With divination, it's always going to be
Definitely.
like, is this likely to happen or not likely to happen?
Speaking of protection spells,
All right. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Let's Just Be Wizards. Next week, we will have an awesome new topic and wizard activity to cover. Please rate and review us on iTunes. It's super helpful to the show. We will transmit infinite thought money to you through the ethers. If you have a suggestion for the show, be sure to send your emails, care of Let's Just Be Wizards at gmail.com, or leave your suggestion in the comment section of iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, or whatever the heck you're listening to this on. Also, if you have a book or wizardly item you want reviewed on the show, just like we did today, send us an email and we can provide you with a physical address to send it to. As always, I am your host, Adam Hilton.
Instructor in disaster, Maxfield Lehman.
No longer the host of How to Be Human, the podcast, Courtney Nursey Conley, because I have to come up with a new name for my new podcast.
And?
I do stuff on the internet too, and I'm not going to mention it right now. And my name is Drew. Have a great night, everyone.
And I'd like to end this show with a quote from famed wizard author J.K. Rowling. From now on, I don't care if my tea leaves spell die, Ron, die. I'm chucking them in the bin where they belong.
We shall see you next time.
You like that one?
Well, you know what?
Or no.
It's a Ron Weasley quote. That's hilarious.
I didn't talk myself out enough. It was I'm Max, the lion who stalks the waves.
Okay, all right. He's gonna do one.
I need to do mine over too.
The lion who stalks the waves, Max.
You want to read yours too?
The Lady of the Winds, Courtney.
Diamond Drew, official brony inspector on YouTube.
Fuck you, shameless self-plug.
No. Let me actually. Can we actually do the outro this time?
This is the
I
outro.
just never really got a chance to talk about the fact that my podcast has been hijacked. The name was hijacked, so
Yeah.
But you'll have a new name for us for the next episode.
yeah.
I gotta start a show.
Yeah, you gotta start your spin-off show, Max. You're getting a little too big for this.
A little bit.
All right. Take care, everyone. Be good to yourselves. Whiz biz
Feel
only.
enchanted.